Today we're going to be talking all about Helicath. Hey, welcome, I'm LeilaFox. Today's lore story video is going to be for Helicath. Helicath is the brand new legendary demon spawn that happens to be the fusion champ for June 2022. Now, this champ is amazing. He's one of the fusion champs that basically we're telling everyone to go for, especially if you don't have a Brogni or a Valkyrie. He is going to be solid in so much content. We're already seeing him being able to help out in Doom Tower and Clan Boss, not to mention aesthetically, he looks pretty great. Now, before we get into his lore story, let's check out the demon spawn faction lore as a whole. Beyond the dark portal lies a realm of fire and darkness. It is the home of ancient beings born of darkness. Forbidden from setting foot in the fair lands of Teleria, these foul entities have conspired with necromancers to breed demon spawn, unholy unions of demon and mortal. Let's get into the lore story for Helicath from Telerian Lore Book of Champions.
Misshapen and twisted in every possible way, Helicath is a creature of the pit, one of the dark, chaotic realms that lie beyond Lumea's light. Its ever-shifting, abyssal wasteland became the last refuge of the fallen Lightbringers that had followed Seroth in his war against the goddess. There, they rule unchecked, erect their citadels, and plot the downfall of all that is good in Teleria. Whether Helicath is one of those primordial fallen, or if he is a creature born of cruelty and madness in the centuries that followed, is unknown. But no one can deny that he is both ancient and powerful. At a glance, the demon may appear clumsy and sluggish, but nothing could be further from the truth. Helicath's unnatural and jittery movements can be faster than lightning, and his claws rend steel as if it were rotten wood. However, it is his wicked intellect that presents the greatest danger. As one of Lord Shazar's lieutenants, Helicath oversaw the creation and training of demon spawn legions and their never-ending preparations for war. Not only had that role allowed him to garner a great deal of influence, but also to handpick a coterie of bodyguards and minions to do his bidding. For Helicath, canny and deceitful like all his kin, only ever waited for a chance to stab his sovereign in the back and take his place. To his woe, Lord Shazar was just as devious and knew which servants had to be kept at a blade's length. He understood Helicath's ambition well and weaved his own intrigue in turn. For a time, Shazar allowed his treacherous lieutenant to think that everything was going according to plan. Helicath continued building his forces and followed Shazar's orders when the demon spot invaded Teleria, earning dark glory to his name on many a battlefield. But as more demons flocked to Helicath's banner, spies sent by Shazar found it easier to infiltrate his ranks. When the hour had finally struck to rise up against his lord, Helicath marched into a well-prepared trap. When he confronted Shazar in the dark throne room of the Lord's stronghold, more than half of the warriors that had first sworn allegiance turned their blades on Helicath instead. Enraged and well aware that he would either win or die, he fought with the fury of a cornered rabid beast, but could do nothing against the overwhelming number of Shazar's might. Though many had fallen to his claws, Helicath was laid low by his master's blade in the end. But killing powerful demons is no easy task, even for others of their kind. Rather than risk imprisoning Helicath and giving a chance to plot an escape, Shazar chose to tear the traitor's spirit asunder and cast it to the hellish winds of the pit. Thus shattered, the essence of Helicath wormed its way into Teleria over many millennia and spread across all corners of the world. Yet if those shreds were to be gathered and made whole again, the demon could be reborn, and he would doubtlessly seek vengeance against the one who had ruined him.
Alright, that was the lore story for Helicath, and there's definitely a couple of things I like about it. Most notably, I love how we're seeing a story where they're adding in another demon spawn in there. So we see Lord Shazar, and we've had a couple other stories where they talk about Mordu Mukaab, we have a couple where they talk about Duchess. So I think it's really cool when they start adding in some of these other legendary champions as well too, considering that we know that they're high-ranking officers and lieutenants in the demon spawn armies. And I really like how they dive into a bit of how the demon spawn character is, right? That they're cunning, they're deceitful, they're deceptive, that even though technically they're supposed to work together, in the end, they're still working to undermine each other. And it shows their intelligence. Like Duchess is a really good story for that as well too, if you guys haven't checked it out, where it basically shows that in the end, they serve Sirath, but they're still evil and they have evil intentions. And I think that's kind of cool how they added that and kind of wove that into the story with Helicath. What I did think was interesting is at the end of the story, they talk about parts of him being scattered around. Now, that makes me think that maybe initially with Helicath, they had considered making him a fragment fusion, because we've seen that in some of the other lore stories with fragment fusions, where they kind of allude to having to find pieces of them, or that they were scattered across the realm of Teleria. And we kind of see that in here, but Helicath is actually a traditional fusion where you still have to get champs and you have to level and ascend them and to be able to fuse them as well. So that is really interesting. I'm curious if they changed that last minute or not. Leave me some comments down below and let me know what you think for the lore story for Helicath. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, check out some more videos up here in the playlist on the top right.